Thank you to one and all for coming here. So, सबसे पहले सभी को नमस्कार. मैं विन्यासा, सेंटर फॉर सस्टेनेबल एग्रीकल्चर हैदराबाद से आज आपकी एंकर. मेरे साथ आज के हमारे ऑनरेबल होस्ट एंड ऑनरेबल गेस्ट स्पीकर दोनों ही उपस्थित है. हमारे होस्ट डॉक्टर जीवी रामांजनेलू उर्फ डॉक्टर रामू, एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर ऑफ सेंटर फॉर सस्टेनेबल एग्रीकल्चर हैदराबाद, एंड हमारे ऑनरेबल गेस्ट स्पीकर श्री प्रदीप शर्मा जी, प्लानिंग एंड पॉलिसी एडवाइजर टू द ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़. आप दोनों का भी स्वागत है. हमारे अपकमिंग न्यू एकेडमी कृष्ण सुधा एकेडमी फॉर एग्रो इकोलॉजी के अंतर्गत चल रहे इस नॉलेज स्पेक्ट्रम सीरीज में आप सभी का स्वागत है. थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग दिस. आज हमारा तीसरा सेशन है. आपने पोस्टर देखा ही होगा, रिवाइविंग रूरल इकोनॉमी, बेसिकली लर्निंग्स फ्रॉम दी नरवा, गरवा, घुरवा और बाड़ी NGGB इनिशिएटिव छत्तीसगढ़. इसके बारे में हम थोड़ा सुनेंगे, थोड़ा सीखेंगे एंड आपके जो डाउट्स है वो क्लैरिफाई करेंगे. आज का सेशन हम 1 घंटे तक सीमित रख रहे हैं. शॉर्ट टाइम के लिए माफी चाहते हैं, पर आज के हमारे स्पीकर अपने बिजी शेड्यूल से 1 घंटा हमें दे रहे हैं. हम उसी के लिए बहुत आभारी हैं उनके. So as mentioned, if new people have joined, today's session will be in English, Hindi and English, given the participants attending and the scheme we are trying to understand about. I would request all of you to mute your mics, but keep their cameras on so that we all can see with whom we are talking. And it will be an interesting conversation between the host and the guest speaker. Unless आप लोगों में से किसी का भी network या फिर bandwidth issue है, please keep your cameras on. We would love to see you all. And finally, इस session को हम 3 हिस्से में divide कर रहे हैं. Presentation on the scheme by Shri Pradeep Sharma ji, discussion between the host and the guest speaker, mostly on the scheme and understanding that, and common questions जो आए हैं. And अगर हम उन questions को भी address नहीं कर पा रहे हैं इन 2 sessions में, then at the end we will take all the questions from the audience. We have gone through the questions given in the Google form during the registration and mostly सब cover हुआ है, but अगर नहीं हो रहा है तो आप chat box में अपने questions को डालिए. And one of my colleagues, Santosh, he will be conveying those questions to me and Ramu sir. So without a further ado, I request Dr. Ramu to welcome Shri Pradeep Sharma ji and start the session.
Thank you, Vinyasa. Thank you, Pradeep ji, for agreeing for taking this session and then introducing us to all the good initiatives Chhattisgarh government is doing. And you being the architect of this entire initiative, I think listening from you gives us a better insight into what is happening and then what needs to be done to revive the rural economy. I think it's a great pleasure to have you here to discuss with you. And just to give the participants a bit background, Chhattisgarh is one of those states which started a very focused initiative to improve rural economy, to revive livelihoods at the rural areas, and then create an institutional system for this. So started as an NGGB, and now they expanded, and then now calling it as rural industrial parks. And no other state yet has taken any learning from this and then taken forward. So it's great pleasure to learn from you. And I remember in the last 10 years, frequently visiting Chhattisgarh, how Chhattisgarh rural areas used to be, say, 10 years back and how they are today. So significant changes have happened. So I feel listening from you about this would be very, very helpful. Over to you, Pradeep Sharma ji. Pradeep Sharma is a advisor to the chief minister, and he is one of those persons who has long experience at grassroots working in Chhattisgarh. And so over to you, Pradeep ji.
Thank you, Ramoji. Thank you very much. Speaking about NGGB is a kind of thing. They're just talking of revival of the rural economy completely.
Yes.
And that was a kind of golden $1 million question to all of us who are working from last 20, 30 years in the rural economy. How to revive rural economy without disturbing and distracting the focus on the kind of rhythmic harmonical ecosystem restoration in the village area. There's a bigger challenge whenever we think about making some sort of development, some sort of change in the village. The basic structure of the village started, shattering down. So once we propose something in the village, and out of that, some section of village may be empowered, but the rest of the section of the village, most of the times, may get diminished. So this is a big problem for all of us, that once we think about some kind of development in rural sector, it should be holistic. It should be very congenial and concordant to the village society itself. So we tried many ways in last 20 years in many places. We have developed several models, right from watershed of Ralegaon, Sindhi to some areas in South India and some areas in North India, from Hirve Bazaar to many other such things. But the problem is that it never get expanded beyond certain limits. So scalability is one problem, anchorship is another problem, and government, when tries to put up one thing in the village like watershed or something, the other side is started, there was a lopsided development in the village. The whole community never gets strengthened and sort of empowered as we thought of. So there's a big challenge to all of us. So when I joined my rural development area, leaving my petroleum industry, where I'm trained actually, I had a good exposure throughout the world. Many societies, villages, from North Globe, South Globe, every part of the world. So seeing that village society is a totally different society. And one thing is common in the village society, that anything which is generated in the village is, whether it is a prosperity, whether it is anything, that is seamlessly distributed. There is no prosperity or empowerment which is isolated and confined in some group. So that is one thing which is common everywhere. And second thing, this village concept, I started and finding it, this is not a kind of Indian sort of existence. It's a pan-Asian, number one. Number two, in most of the areas throughout the world. So these are the two parameters then I started working on. So let me speak Hindi and English, because there are many people who are writing me that please speak in Hindi. Those people who joined from northern side. So anyway, so then we started it. और सबसे पहला चीज then हमको जो समझ में आई वो ये था कि all of us knows कि 17th century के पहले India contributed more than 25% in the world GDP. And at the time of Buddha, it was very high. It goes up to 32%. This all data has come from the Angus Madison's Millennium History, Millennium Economics. There's a UNDP project of UN, where these statements are very beautifully given, over which many scholars like Sachi Tharoor and many other people has written very long and things. But one question is, left always. And the question which left is that what are that forces? वो forces क्या थी जिसने हिंदुस्तान को 23% वर्ल्ड का GDP कंट्रीब्यूटर बनाया था, जो आज इंडिया उधर के 1.6% ऑफ वर्ल्ड जीडीपी का कंट्रीब्यूशन करता है, वो फोर्स क्या था? नोबडी इज टॉकिंग ऑफ दैट फोर्स। लोग बोल रहे हैं कि यदि वो सारे विलेज इंडस्ट्रीज टूट गए वहां से अंग्रेजों के आने के बाद, हमारे सिस्टम पे बहुत सारा टैक्स लोड कर दिया गया और उनका फ्री कर दिया गया, दैट्स करेक्ट, बट दैट्स पार्शियली करेक्ट। तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज था वो ये था कि हिंदुस्तान में इनोवेशन जो है उसका जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जगह थी वो विलेज था। और विलेज में आदमी के पास एक क्वालिटी टाइम होता है। जब वो दिन भर का काम कर लेता है तो उसके पास एक फ्री टाइम होता है, क्वालिटी टाइम होता है उसका। वो जो क्वालिटी टाइम था विलेज सेक्टर के अंदर में, वो क्वालिटी टाइम प्रोडक्शन में कन्वर्ट होता था। सो द क्वालिटी टाइम गेट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू प्रोडक्शन is the reason of prosperity of the village. Ramu, I am audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
तो एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हम लोगों को समझ में आया कि क्वालिटी टाइम थ्रू क्रिएटिविटी गेट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू प्रोडक्ट, ए ऑब्जेक्टिव थिंग। प्रोडक्ट इज एन ऑब्जेक्टिव थिंग। तो कोई आदमी यदि पीपल के पेड़ के नीचे बैठा है और वो बैठा हुआ सोच रहा है दिन भर के काम से थकने के बाद, और वो उसके दिमाग में एक नया गाना आता है, एक नया म्यूजिक आता है, या एक नई चीज आती है, एक नया इंस्ट्रूमेंट बनाने का सोचता है, तो वो जो क्वालिटी टाइम है वो प्रोडक्ट में जब कन्वर्ट होता है तो वो जो प्रोडक्ट जो है वो उसके प्रॉस्पेरिटी में एक सिग्निफिकेंट एक इजाफा, एक वृद्धि, एक प्रॉस्पेरिटी में इनहेंसमेंट करता है। तो काफी समय के बाद ये जो चीज थी वो धीरे धीरे खत्म हो गई। इसमें केवल मतलब एक बड़े पैमाने में कॉलोनियल चीजें तो जिम्मेदार थी उसकी, पर कॉलोनियल चीजों से भी ज्यादा जिम्मेदार कॉलोनियल टाइम के खत्म होने के बाद 70-75 सालों में किसी का ध्यान इस तरफ नहीं गया कि गांव के भीतर में जो क्वालिटी टाइम है वो प्रोडक्शन में कन्वर्ट नहीं हो रहा है। क्यों कन्वर्ट नहीं हो रहा है? उसके 2-3 कारण हैं जिसमें मैं इस पूरे स्लाइड में जाऊंगा, और वहां से हमारा रूरल इंडस्ट्रियल पार्क जो है वो निकल के आता है। तो पहला चीज ये था कि हिंदुस्तान में ये प्रोडक्शन होता कहाँ था। तो हिंदुस्तान में जो प्रोडक्शन था वो अलग अलग बायो रीजन्स में होता था। तो अब सोचिए कि हिंदुस्तान में अंग्रेजों के आने के पहले हिंदुस्तान में कोई ऐसे 40-45 स्टेट्स तो नहीं थे। मतलब उस समय मध्य प्रदेश नहीं था, उत्तर प्रदेश नहीं था, है ना, महाराष्ट्र नहीं था। तो क्या था? और जो था प्रोडक्शन में क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन कर रहा था? और वो जो प्रोडक्शन में कंट्रीब्यूट करने की उसकी जो ताकत थी, द पोटेंशियल दैट दे हैव, दिस बायोरीजन्स हैव, you know, the production capacity, production potential these bioregions have. We need to think that whether this gets converted into states we have made or not. So we started thinking about economic geographies. So this is the map which is roughly looking like our states, but is not, corresponding to the state boundaries. So these are the states which has almost around 60 some bioregions, which we may call Hindi mein Anchal bolte hain. I don't know what's the in Tamil. It's a regions actually. Ramu, what is this called in the Tamil?
Tamil, I don't know. In Telugu, we call it Prantam, but
exactly.
region, same thing, same bioregion. Yeah.
So you see that this starts from Gizar, Gilgit, right? Humayun, Bhopal, and if you go to Braj in central India, right? Mithila, and similarly there is one Chhattisgarh, right?
And each one has its own characteristics, features, right? That's how they are divided. Yes.
Exactly.
What
is the common in that? So we may find it that there is 66 such bioregions. right?
Hmm.
So in that 66, Chhattisgarh is one of them. Fortunately, Chhattisgarh is not only a bioregion, but also happens to be a state.
Hmm.
So the specialty of this bioregion is one, that they have one identical culture, one language, one production system, behavior, skill. So all those things are, just kind of very similar in that one region, because they share similar kind of geological ecosystems and geo-sentiments. So this geological prosperity and geo-sentiments creates certain kind of ethos to prosper, value system, their village system. So combining all those and making them one of the most important force or motivation to produce will help us. मैं हिंदी में बोलूं तो ये है कि हम यदि किसी अंचल के भीतर जो उसके जियो सेंटिमेंटल और लिगेसी है और जो उसकी अलग अलग भाषा है, स्किल सेट्स है, जो वहाँ रॉ मटेरियल है, जो वहाँ के स्किल सेट्स है, उनको हम एक साथ इकट्ठा कर दें और साथ में उसके सेंटिमेंटल लिगेसी से जोड़ दें, तो प्रोडक्शन करने का एक बहुत बड़ा एक मोटिवेशन पैदा हो जाता है समाज में. ये हमको समझ में आया. फॉर्चुनेटली छत्तीसगढ़ जो है वो एक ऐसी जगह है जो एक बायो इकोनॉमिक रीजन्स है, प्लस वो एक स्टेट भी है. चले महाराष्ट्र में विदर्भ है, कोंकण है, काठियावाड़, ये आपका बीच का जो हिस्सा है वो है, खानदेश है. ये 3-4 बायो रीजन है वहां पर. छत्तीसगढ़ एक बायो रीजन, उत्तराखंड एक बायो रीजन. तो ये जो चीज था इसको हम लोगों ने आइडेंटिफाई किया और ये आइडेंटिफाई करने के बाद हमने समाज को समझना शुरू किया. नेक्स्ट शान, नेक्स्ट.
या
तो गांव जो है उसको सबसे पहले हमने नए ढंग से सोचा, देखा. छत्तीसगढ़ के गांव को सोचा तो समझ में आया कि विलेज इज एन एंटिटी इन टर्म्स ऑफ रिसोर्स, इनोवेशन एंड स्किल्स. और जब हम पीपीएसटी में काम करते थे तो उस समय एक जो कॉन्सेप्ट आया था कि ये जो गांव का किसान है वो 6 महीने किसान रहता है. He's किसान for 6 months, he is a farmer for 6 months, and rest of the months for 5-6 months he is karigar, he is an artisan. And in this 2-3 months in the summer season, when there is difficult to do anything, he becomes kalakar, he's become artist. So artisan, agrarian, artisan and artist is kind kisan, karigar and kalakar. So a person who is a farmer gets converted into artisan, gets converted into artist. So he does agriculture and then he produces something which is artifacts, productions, and then he does produce lots of art and cultural and that kind of things. So in all these 3 spheres, his energy completely gets emancipated and he feels very satisfied. He feels meaning of being a very proud citizen of that area. After that, when we started thinking on it, so we started thinking for the farmer, or we started thinking for the artisan only, or we started thinking about the artist only. We never think that the person is same. There is a very famous theater person in Chhattisgarh named Habib Tanveer. I think most of the people have heard of him. He has developed a theater called New Theater. So all the persons who are doing, they were wonderful artists, dramatician, drama artist in his troupe, who has, flagged off many places, like they have shown their theater all over the globe and got the first award in Edinburgh International Festival of Drama. These all were farmers. After 3-4 months of doing artist activities, they went back to their fields. Same thing Ratan Thiam did. So what I'm saying is that we never thought of it. That is the same person who is an artisan, who is a artist, and also he's an agrarian, a farmer. So we started thinking about this Kisan, Karigar, and Kalakar. So if we look at the Chhattisgarh in terms of that Kisan, Karigar, and Kalakar framework, we found that Chhattisgarh is very popular and very good in ancient time for three things. That is metallurgy. We produce iron because Chhattisgarh has a huge number of iron ores deposits. So our artisans, they produce irons inside the forest. In the earthen kilns, and they have developed many technology, they have good skills. They produce irons which is rustless completely. And you have seen, many of you have seen that Asoka pillar called in Qutub Minar, which is a rust-free iron pole, which has been developed by these techniques. There was lots of videos also. So these people have developed their own techniques to extract iron from hematite in 300 degree. Nowadays in Bhilai, we extract iron on 1100 temperature. So I always ask a question to scientists, who is bigger scientist? One person who is producing iron in 300 or one person who is producing iron in 1100 degrees centigrade. So the metallurgy was those times, the first economic survey English carried out, they said one luhar in Chhattisgarh forests, annual income of that person is 300 rupees, where the gold costs 17 rupees tola. Means 10 gram of gold is almost around 17 rupees. He was earning 300 rupees in a year. Means in a year, he was producing almost around, how much? 20 tolas of gold. So almost today is producing almost 1 lakh rupees inside the forest by just making iron. And in ancient areas of Chhattisgarh, archaeological sites, we find that Greek signs of Greek trades for this iron, because this Greek and Roman people used to take this iron to make their swords, to make huge ships and many other things, because it's rustless. So these kind of things are there. And then we have 5,000 such ethnobotanical medicine, which has been developed by these Vaidus, traditional healers, and music. Out of 189 School of Folk Arts and Music, 81 School of Folk Arts and Music has been generated in Chhattisgarh. So Chhattisgarh is a society which is imbibed in its own cultural values, dancing, producing, innovating, like many other bioregions, like Tanjavur, like any part of the country which is bioregion. So that is one of the reasons that this is basically prosperous things. But over the years, the technology is obsoleted, it has gone, it has been frustrated by establishments, and the world has moved far beyond. So, but even then, the value system is the same. So we decided to form a sort of, process. So that NGGB is a process which can rejuvenate the village to prosperous village. NGGB is Narva, Garva, Gurva, Bari. Narva, Garva, Gurva, Bari is a 4-word from Chhattisgarhi dialect. Narva is rivulet, Garva is cattle, energy is for the Gurva means compost pit, and Bari, everybody knows that is a homestead garden. So I'm coming to that. Next. So I have shown you a very beautiful picture of village in previous slide, but now the village condition is very bad. So in this village condition now, you can see it's like depleting water resources, right? Stray cattle population, depleting natural resources, livelihood issues. So all of them can be addressed. Depleting water resources can be addressed by Narwa, rivulet regeneration, water shedding. Cattle, we have made gauthans. This is a daycare shelter for cow sheds. Gurwa means compost pits, body for providing jobs and other things. So basically, our Chief Minister says, so I just wanted to tell one thing, that I'm not one person who has developed all those things. There's a group of friends, there are a group of friends who have developed it. And our Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel is not only a politician, but is a social scientist also. He and I share the similar kind of background. We were son of farmer. We spent our days in villages, childhood days in villages. I was in corporate, he was in more of political system. So our ideas, we were discussing these things from very long time, even he was not in power, and sometime he was in power and all that. So he always says that the village is always a production center in India, and city is not consumption center, actually is a trade center. So city is the center of trading and village is a production center. So यदि हम गांव के अंदर प्रोडक्शन को बढ़ा देंगे तो जो सिटी है वो एक अच्छे ट्रेड सेंटर में बदल जाएगा. अंग्रेजों ने यहाँ एक बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम किया था. उन्होंने सिटी को ही ट्रेड सेंटर में कन्वर्ट कर दिया. उन्होंने गांव के अंदर में जो बनने वाले कपास थे, करगा थे, बुनकर थे, कपड़े थे, वो सबको लाके शहर में पैदा कर दिया, क्योंकि दे हैव ए फैक्ट्री सिस्टम. तो शहर जो है वो गांव जो है का लेबर सप्लायर हो गया. मतलब गांव जो है शहर का लेबर सप्लायर हो गया, जबकि लेबर के बदले पहले वो प्रोडक्शन का सप्लायर. नेक्स्ट. तो ये जो पूरा जो हुआ, इसको बदलने के लिए ये समझना जरूरी था कि गांव एक्चुअली क्या है. तो हम लोगों ने 30 के आसपास सेमिनार किए. उस समय जब ये सरकार 2017-2018 में आई, उसके पहले हम लोग लगातार 10 सालों में हम लोगों ने अलग अलग विलेज लेवल पे ऑब्जेक्टिव डेफिनेशन ऑफ विलेज का हम लोगों ने एक बहुत बड़ा सेमिनार किया, जिसमें गांव के लोगों को बुलाया और बाहर से लोगों को भी बुलाया, क्योंकि गांव सबके दिमाग में अलग अलग किस्म का था. हर आदमी रूरल डेवलपमेंट का एक योजना बनाता था जो उसके दिमाग में गांव है. The definition and then the picture of village he has in his own mind, overpowers his planning of village. So every time somebody proposes a new village development program, we were sure that ये गांव को और तोड़ के रख देगा. तो हमने पूछा लोगों से कि what is the objective definition of village? There must be an objective definition. यदि 6 लाख विलेज है दुनिया में, हिंदुस्तान में, तो उसका कोई ऑब्जेक्टिव डेफिनेशन तो होगा ना. एक तो फिजिकल चीज है ये. तो कुछ भी नहीं था. We searched many literature and all that. Then we decided to carry on our own, sort of seminars. उससे एक चीज निकल के आया कि village is a habitat bearing a rhythmic ecosystem based on familial values, wherein prosperity is achieved through human efforts inducted in available natural resources. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है कि गांव में जो भी नेचुरल रिसोर्स है उसमें मनुष्य के श्रम के नियोजन से, by investing his own human efforts into natural resources, he gets prosperity, right? खेत जमीन में लगा दिया, थोड़ा ह्यूमन रिसोर्स, ह्यूमन एफर्ट्स डाला, तो उसमें क्या हुआ, धान हुआ, पैदावार हुई. मिनरल्स में डाला तो मेटल्स निकले, पानी में डाला तो मछलियां और बाकी चीजें निकली. तो बेसिकली क्या था, नेचुरल रिसोर्स जो है वो प्राइमरी सोर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन था उसमें ह्यूमन एफर्ट्स को हमने इंडक्ट कर दिया। अब बात ये आई कि बहुत 70 सालों में हमने हमारा नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस लायक नहीं बचा था कि उसमें मैक्सिमम ह्यूमन एफर्ट्स कैन बी इंडक्टेड। पानी इतना खराब हो गया कि अब उसमें मछली नहीं पाल सकते, जमीन इतना खराब हो गया कि अब जब बिना और फर्टिलाइजर डाले से प्रोडक्शन नहीं ले सकते। व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इज दैट कि हम नेचुरल रिसोर्स को इतना खराब करते जा रहे हैं कि उसमें ह्यूमन एफर्ट के इंडक्शन के चांसेस कम हो रहे हैं। और गांव में एक फेमिलियल वैल्यू सिस्टम है जिससे जो प्रॉस्पेरिटी अचीव होती है वो सीमलेसली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड होती है विद ग्रेटिट्यूड इन इंडिविजुअल, फैमिली एंड सोसाइटी। मतलब मैंने यदि वो किया है कि मैं पैसा कमा के लाया तो मैं अपने बच्चों को पैसा दे रहा हूँ तो मैं उनसे कुछ चाह नहीं रहा हूँ। मैं आई एम ग्रेटिव, यू नो, इट्स माय ग्रेटिट्यूड टू माय फैमिली। आई एम गिविंग दिस मनी टू माय फादर, टू माय पेरेंट्स। सो दिस सीमलेस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इज विद ग्रेटिट्यूड एज प्राइम वैल्यू। तो ये एक ऑब्जेक्टिव डेफिनेशन निकल के आया। उसमें 3 इंस्टीट्यूशन डेवलप हुए अच्छे से। पहला सोशल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, ग्राम सभा, प्रोग्रेसिव कम्युनिटीज एंड देन न्याय पंचायत। तो जो न्याय पंचायत था हम लोगों ने उसको ग्राम सभा मान लिया, उसका इलेक्शन करा दिया। तो यहाँ पर एक बड़ी गड़बड़ी हो गई कि वो गांव को तोड़ने में, जैसे मैंने बताया था ना कि हर एक नया योजना आता है वो गांव को ज्यादा तोड़ देता है। तो हम लोगों ने जो इलेक्शन कराया, गांव की खासियत ये है, इसकी जो ग्राम सभा होती है इसकी खासियत ये है कि गांव में जो वैल्यू सिस्टम है वो जनरल में एक्सेप्टेड है, इंडिविजुअल में वायलेटेड है। जैसे सब लोग मिलके मानते हैं कि सच बोलना चाहिए, अच्छे से रहना चाहिए, एक दूसरे की चीज चोरी नहीं करना चाहिए, लेकिन जब इंडिविजुअल पे आता है तो उसको वायलेट कर देते हैं। इसलिए गांव का जो सोसाइटी है वो क्या करता है कि वो इंडिविजुअल के ऊपर में हमेशा कलेक्टिव को प्रेफरेंस देता है। यदि गांव के लोगों ने मिलकर तय कर दिया कि रामू कल से गांव में नहीं आएगा तो फिर रामू कल गांव में, रामू बोलेगा ठीक है आई विल गो इन डिफरेंट विलेजेस। तो ये अपनी जितनी बातें कहना होगा कहेगा, लोग मानेंगे, नहीं मानेगा तो गांव बोलेगा ठीक है मैं दूसरी गांव। दे विल नॉट किल यू। याद रखिएगा कि इस पॉलिटी में, गांव की जो पॉलिटी है उसके सेंटर में फोर्स का एप्लीकेशन नहीं है, परसुएशन है। ठीक है, तो ये जो चीज था इसको हम लोगों ने क्या किया, पंचायती राज सिस्टम में एक करप्ट इंडिविजुअल को जो सरपंच के चुनाव लड़ता है उसको गांव के लिए जिम्मेदार बना दिया। और जो जुडिशियल सिस्टम था हम लोगों ने क्या किया, उसको डेवलपमेंट एजेंसी बना दिया। एक दूसरा प्रॉब्लम हुआ था। फिर देन वी आइडेंटिफाइड artisan system of skills, art versus bazaar in economy, arts, health system, spiritual traditions, custom, revenue sharing and all that। ये सब चीजें हमने सोचा कि ये सब चीजें जिसपे काम करना चाहिए। तो फिर एक प्रोग्राम, जब सरकार आ गई, बाद में सरकार आई तो फिर बाद में ये हुआ कि एक नया, आखिर जो सब कुछ सोच रहे हैं सब्जेक्टिव, ये जो आइडिया है फिलोसफिकल आइडिया, इसको कैसे उतारेंगे। तो सबसे पहले हमने तय किया कि सबसे पहले हम हमारे नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज को रिजुविनेट करके देखते हैं। तो नेचुरल रिसोर्स से पहला चीज क्या है, नरवा, रिवलेट रीजनरेशन। छत्तीसगढ़ में 33,000 नाले हैं, अभी पाऊंगा उस पर। दूसरा, हमारे पास 1,20,00,000 के आसपास कैटल पॉपुलेशन है, और पॉपुलेशन इज 3 करोड़, क्वार्टर टू 3 करोड़, मतलब 2.25 करोड़ लोग हैं हम लोग, और हमारे पास लगभग 1.25 करोड़ जानवर हैं, आधा के आसपास। दूसरा, हमारे पास डायनामिक कंपोस्ट पिट बहुत थे हमारे पास। घुरवा जो घर में कंपोस्ट पिट होता है ना, ट्रेडिशनली बहुत थे, लेकिन बाद में विद द एडवेंट ऑफ ट्रैक्टर्स एंड obsolescence of bullock power in the village, and with the advent of this expansion of this fertigation area, chemical fertigation area, ये सब चीजें धीरे धीरे पीछे जाने लगी। हमारे यहाँ फल सब्जियां जो थी, गांव गांव में लोग अपने घर के पीछे गार्डन में, बाड़ी में उगाते थे, वो धीरे धीरे खत्म हो गया। शहरों में इंडस्ट्रियल स्केल की सब्जियां हो रही हैं और वो लेके आके गांव को दे रहे हैं। तो हम लोगों ने तय किया कि हम नरवा, गरवा, घुरवा बारी शुरू करेंगे। इसमें एक जो नरवा है वो टोटली रिसोर्स है, नेचुरल रिसोर्स है। गरवा जो है वो कैटल रिसोर्स है। घुरवा जो है उसमें हम काम करते हैं, बाड़ी जो है वो मोर ऑफ हमारा एफर्ट्स है। तो जो जल जंगल जमीन की बात करते थे, इसमें हमने जन जंतु जीविका और जोड़ दिया। है ना, वेलकम टू दैट। नेक्स्ट, तो ये नर्वा की जब मैं बात कर रहा हूँ तो छत्तीसगढ़ इज द सेकंड रिवराइन सिस्टम आफ्टर हिमालय। सबसे बड़ी नदियां छत्तीसगढ़ से निकलती हैं। छत्तीसगढ़ से लगभग 19 बड़ी नदियां, सबसे पहले तो 3 रिवर सिस्टम है वहाँ। सबसे पहला रिवर सिस्टम जो है छत्तीसगढ़ का वो नर्मदा रिवर सिस्टम है। नर्मदा नदी छत्तीसगढ़ से निकलती है लगभग बॉर्डर से। उसके बाद दूसरा जो नदी है वो महानदी रिवर सिस्टम है। तीसरा जो है इंद्रावती रिवर सिस्टम जो है, जो गोदावरी में जाके मिलती है। ये 3 बड़े रिवर सिस्टम छत्तीसगढ़ से निकलते हैं, विच इज सपोर्टेड। और हम 23% पानी गंगा को देते हैं, नॉर्दर्न छत्तीसगढ़ का, बाई सोन। सोन ऑल्सो स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम छत्तीसगढ़। सो बिकॉज ऑफ 3 थिंग्स की नॉर्थ, यहाँ जो साउथ ईस्टर्न और साउथ वेस्टर्न और नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न जो मानसून है, दैट मीट्स ओवर छत्तीसगढ़। एंड छत्तीसगढ़ इकोलॉजी इज लाइक 46% ऑफ द एरिया इज जंगल। तो यहाँ बहुत पानी गिरता था, बारिश होती थी, और उसके कारण यहाँ पर बहुत बड़ा रेनी डेज बहुत ज्यादा था। 50,000 से ज्यादा हमारे यहाँ पर लोगों ने पॉन्ड्स बनाए थे। और हमारे पास 33,000 नाला, ये जो मैं सामने आपको एक नालों का मैप दिखा रहा हूँ जिसमें मैंने बड़ी नदी हटा दी हैं, तो आप देख रहे हैं कि छत्तीसगढ़ में पूरे नाले जो है इवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड है। सो ड्रेनेज लाइन रिचार्ज सिस्टम वाज देयर। लेकिन क्लाइमेट चेंज के बड़े प्रॉब्लम से 88 डेज का जो हमारा रिवर, मतलब ये जो मानसून डेज होता था, दैट श्रंक टू 66 डेज। और वो भी जो हमारा हाई इंटेंसिव रेन है वो 3 से 4 पॉकेट में होने लगा, जो पहले 10 से 12 एपिसोड में होता था। तो हमारे नाले जो है जंगल कटने के कारण हमारे नाले 4 महीने फ्लड होते थे, और उसके बाद फिर हमारे नाले 2-6 महीने में सूख जाते थे, और 4 महीने हमारे पास पानी नहीं रहता था। तो हम लोगों ने एक इंटेंसिव बहुत छोटा सा वाटरशेड का वो लिया, और जो हमारे GIS पैटर्न्स हैं, उस पैटर्न्स में हम लोगों ने छोटे छोटे ये डेवलप किए, आपके वाटरशेड के DPRs बनाए, और DPRs बनाने के बाद प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चर्स बनाया। आज हमारे पास 35,000 नालों में 12,000 नाले लगभग 10 से 11 महीने बहने वाले हो चुके हैं। दे आर कंप्लीटली रिवाइव्ड। 1.26 crore structure has been made in these 4 years in the nalas, and लगभग आप समझ लीजिए, जंगल का एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं कि 28,000 हेक्टेयर वाटरशेड एरिया जंगल में है। उस 28,000 वाटरशेड एरिया में 28 लाख हेक्टेयर वाटरशेड एरिया है, उसमें 24 लाख हेक्टेयर्स हैज बीन कवर्ड इन फॉरेस्ट ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़। तो जंगलों में जब पानी रुक जाता है ना, तो नीचे का नाला हमेशा बहने लगता है। तो ये जो है इंक्रीज इन फ्लोरा एंड फाउना, तो उत्तराखंड, सॉरी, ये जो झारखंड में और उड़ीसा में जो बहुत माइनिंग एक्टिविटी की वजह से एलिफेंट्स माइग्रेटेड फ्रॉम देयर टू छत्तीसगढ़, एंड देयर इज लॉट्स ऑफ क्लैश बिटवीन ह्यूमन एलिफेंट एंड क्लैशेस एंड कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स। तो वो जो है एकदम कम हो गया। और पहले हमारे यहाँ 54 एलिफेंट्स थे 2017 में, और वो बहुत सारा ह्यूमन एलिफेंट कॉन्फ्लिक्ट था। अब इतना पानी जंगलों में हो गया है कि वो बाहर ही नहीं आ रहे हैं, और बल्कि उनकी संख्या बहुत बढ़ गई है। नाउ वी हैव 158 roughly elephants because they keep on migrating. So it's tripled, and the human elephant conflict is reduced drastically. So this habitat rejuvenation। और दूसरा एक अच्छी चीज ये है कि पानी मिलने के कारण जो रिवरलेट्स के किनारे किनारे जो ट्राइबल लोग रहते हैं, वो जनरली मिलेट्स और कोर्स ग्रेन का प्रोडक्शन करते हैं। तो हमारे यहाँ कोर्स ग्रेन का प्रोडक्शन बहुत कम हो गया था, पहले बहुत ज्यादा था। दैट वाज from 2 lakh hectares it was reduced to 2 lakh hectare to 47,000 hectares। अब इस साल जो रिवर के मतलब रेवलेट्स की जनरेट होने से इस साल, और हमने MSP दिया हमारे CM साहब ने, सारे के सारे हमारे पास 32 ऐसे कोर्स ग्रेन मिलेट्स होते हैं, उसमें से 11 कोर्स ग्रेन रिवलेट उन आइटम्स को MSP डिक्लेयर किया। कोदो, कुटकी, रागी, फिंगर मिलेट्स, ये सबको MSP डिक्लेयर किया। तो इन नालों के आने से और एमएसपी के होने से द area under cultivation of coarse grain millet is increased by 300%. So from 58,000 acres, it is now 1.46 lakh hectares of coarse grain millets production. So these are the things which has been generated in the one part of it. This is Narwa, that is rivulet. Next, please. Second is Garua. तो मैंने आपको बताया कि we have 1.1 crore bovine population in छत्तीसगढ़. तो ये हमारे यहाँ पर क्या होता था कि हम लोग जानवर में बैल हमेशा बाहर से लाते थे. We take बैल from Vidarbh, from आंध्र प्रदेश, from नॉर्दर्न एरिया, पर हम गाय कभी बाहर से नहीं लाते थे. तो हमने सोचना शुरू किया कि हम गाय क्यों नहीं लाए बाहर से. गाय दूध अच्छी देती है, हमारे यहाँ गाय ज्यादा दूध नहीं देती थी. तो समझ में आया कि हमको चूंकि गाय से हमको दूध ज्यादा, हमारा प्राइमरी जो कंजम्पशन है वो दूध का नहीं है. प्राइमरी रिक्वायरमेंट दूध के लिए हम गाय नहीं पालते थे, हम गाय पालते थे उसके गोबर के लिए. ऑर्गेनिक कंपोस्टिंग का हमारे पास सबसे बड़ा सोर्स था गाय का गोबर. अमूल के आने के बाद पूरे हिंदुस्तान में गाय को मिल्चिंग मशीन मान लिया गया. हमारे गांव में, हमारे छत्तीसगढ़ में काऊ वाज नेवर ए मिल्चिंग मशीन. वो हमारे गांव का जो देशी गाय है, वो गांव में जो लेफ्ट आउट पैडल जो हमारे फॉडर होते हैं उसको खा के गांव के तालाब का पानी पी के, इट प्रोवाइड्स अस ऑर्गेनिक कंपोस्ट व्हिच इज एक्टिव कार्बन एंड दैट इज बीइंग कंपोस्टेड इन दैट पिट्स एंड सेंड बैक टू अवर फील्ड्स. ये जो फील्ड में भेजने की प्रक्रिया है, इसकी वजह से छत्तीसगढ़ 5000 साल में भी इट्स स्टिल बाउल ऑफ राइस एंड दे हैव जनरेटेड 23,000 varieties of rice. Chhattisgarh has a biodiversity of 23,000 variety of rice because of this organic cow dung based compost and its climate. वो खत्म होते जा रहा था. तो पहली बार हमने कहा कि भाई गाय को तो हम दूध के लिए नहीं पालते, तो गोबर के लिए पालते हैं. दूसरा ये हो रहा था कि सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये हो गया था कि अब लोगों ने सोचा कि भाई गाय दूध देती नहीं है और हमारे पास केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर आ गया है, तो गाय की जरूरत नहीं, तो लोगों ने गाय को छोड़ दिया. तो दूसरा जो फोटो आप देख रहे हो, गाय जो है खड़ी फसल को चरना शुरू कर दिया. सो ग्रेजिंग बाय दिस स्ट्रे काउ बिकम्स अ ह्यूज प्रॉब्लम इन छत्तीसगढ़. And most of the time, this cows comes over this highway area, and there was major accidents every day. 300, 400 cows all over the state killed by this traffic. So these are the problems. So we started thinking about it. So the major problem has become like that. There was a complete ecosystem of grazing in Chhattisgarh. That the shepherd started this cows by 8 o'clock in the morning and went to the field of Charaga area of Chhattisgarh. और धीरे धीरे चलाते चलाते एक जगह जाता था और वहां पर वो गाय का पेट भर गया और वो भी भूखा हो गया. उसने अपना खाना वाना निकाला, बंसी वंसी निकाली, खाना वाना खाया. 2-2.5 घंटे काऊ ने वहां पानी वानी पी के आराम किया. आराम करने के बाद दैट एरिया इज कॉल्ड गौठान. There's a day care shelter for the cows. So the Gautan is one area where cow comes, stays there for 2.5 hours. और शाम होने के समय फिर वो गांव को वापस चराते 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 वो खेत में ले गया. That time is called Godhuli Vela. So if cow comes to the Godhuli Vela to home, तो गाय 4 से 5 घंटे में भूखी हो जाती है. शाम को यदि गाय आती है तो रात को 2 बजे तक उसको कुछ तकलीफ नहीं, ना पानी चाहिए, ना चारा चाहिए, कुछ नहीं चाहिए उसको. पर यदि तुम बीच का टाइम हटा दो उसको और वो गाय को ले जाके 1:30 बजे वापस ले आए दिन में, दोपहर में घर में ले आके रख दे, तो क्या होगा कि गाय 6 बजे जो है भूखी हो जाएगी. और जब वो भूखी हो जाएगी तो फिर वो बाढ़ तोड़ के रंभाने लगेगी, घर जाकर तोड़ देगी, दीवार कूद जाएगी और फिर वापस खेत में चली जाएगी या किसान खुद छोड़ देगा. तो फिर हमने ये शेल्टर बनाया, उसको 3 घंटे गाय को रखने लगे. तो आप देख रहे हैं बाजू में एक हाईवे है, वहां पर एक भी गाय नहीं है. एवरी काउ कम्स इन दिस एरिया. There is this area is a small, pual fodder. These are the vermicompost nakas. These are the, feeding places and then sheds. Next. So this is an area which is having these 5-6 things, and we converge it with the Manrega. So we made one tube well, a drinking water channel, and roads and nallies and primary healthcare center for cows. All that kind of thing, 3 and 5 acres of land. So we started asking people, when we started this Yojana, every IS people asked us, ki bhaiya, every inch of your village area is encroached. Where do you get all these things? So we said, this is need a village. You ask Gram Sabha to provide us your charaga, they will give you. And we were right. Our chief minister insisted on it. You start. And there should not be any coercion. If villager does not want, we will not give them. To my surprise, out of 11,000 villages.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
No.
Jitendra, you just put up your mic, please.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Can you please mute it, Jitendra? Yeah.
So what happened? Out of 11,000 panchayat, next please. So out of 11,000 panchayat, 10,048 panchayat has given the land. In this 10,000 panchayats, 1,000 panchayats are those panchayats which is already inside the jungle, so they don't need anything. So out of those areas which needed, this Gautans, almost 98% of them is covered. So 9,099 sanctioned, 89,000 is made, and total 10,426 Gautans are made, and out of 11,000 panchayat, 10,500 roughly panchayat has now this structure. Go back. So this has happened. So the cows comes here. So this fodder you see, the cows are eating these fodders. This has been corrected. This has been collected by Paradan. We ask our farmers, please don't burn your pual, don't burn your parali. Give it to us. We will collect it. So government provides transportation charge. They leave their puals on the boundaries of their village, their fields. We just take all this fodder to this Gautans and keep it here. So when cow comes in this, for 3 hours, they also eat something, they rest, they fight, they drink water. So chaiya, bhuya, dana, pani. Chaiya is shed, bhuya is land, dana is eating something, and pani. So this is what we provide. That has changed the entire system. That's restored the entire system of open grazing in Chhattisgarh significantly. So this is Gauthan experiment. But then when Gauthan experiment gets successful, then there was a other thing that people wanted to work in Gauthans. So we have huge number of women SHGs. So we trained women SHGs, almost 1 lakh women SHGs in 10,000 panchayats. We trained them to convert cow dung into vermicompost. They got training, and then once they got the training, then we started purchasing the cow dung in ₹2. This is the first time in any state in India that we started procuring cow dung in ₹2 and providing it to the women SHGs, and that women SHGs are converting them into vermicompost. And then last year, next please, next. So you can see that. Next please, next. So 6.8 lakh quintal cow dung has been procured in 236 crores till now. We started on 20th July 2020. So in 3 years, almost 1 crore quintal cow dung has been procured. In 1 crore quintal in 2 crore rupees, roughly. So other figures are there, you can read it. And Out of that was at 28 lakh quintals of vermicompost is generated and sold in ₹10 to farmers through our slum society, where farmer is allowed to take short and long-term loan to purchase that, like we do in chemical fertilizers. So we provided support system to purchase vermicompost, that is organic fertilizer. So farmer does not need to pay immediately, like he need not to pay immediately to chemical fertilizer. So is the vermicompost. So 2.8 crore rupees has generated. So government has, invested 2 crore rupees, and government got almost around 2.8 crore rupees out of selling this vermicompost. And in this process has become, in 2 years only, this process has completely crossed its, its break-even point. Go back to the slides, previous slides, yeah. So the women comes to the body, this Gotan area, and they started doing many other activities like community body. So we have provided 2 acres of land nearby Gotans, because now we have water in Gotan, we have fertilizer in Gotan. So we started a demonstration bodies where women started learning different techniques of producing, modern techniques of producing different agricultures, different vegetables in these bodies. So we have community bodies. So every Gotan almost has one community body of 3 acres. Go back to the previous slides. So the women are just doing this. These are the community bodies nearby Gotans. So now there is a huge production from bodies, organic fertilizer, organic vegetables from bodies nearby Gotans. So one is 28 lakh quintal vermicompost. 28 lakh quintal vermicompost is not a cottage scale production, it's an industrial scale production in decentralized production system of village. Similarly, lakhs of tons of vegetable, organic vegetable has been produced in bodies. It is still producing. Next, please. Next. So this next, go back. So this is, you can see that from community body, so much bodies, they have produced so much SHGs are there, and they have earned almost 11 crore rupees only from community body. From mushroom production, they have earned something 2.43 crores, fish farming, 8 crores, goatry, poultry, cattle rearing, and other cow dung products, like they are making cow dung diya, gobar ka gamla, and many such go cast. Now they are producing go cast. This is a small stick of gobar, which is being used for burning the pyres, because in Chhattisgarh it is thought to be very pious to burn some pyre by the cow dung compost. So cow dung cakes. So that is called go cast. So wood made out of cow dung. So they make many other such activities, and they are earning like 140 crore rupees has been earned by 1,89,000 SHG members. Next, please. So this is the story, right? So this is Gotan, and first phase was Gotan. Second phase was Godhanya Yojana, means purchasing of cow dung. Now then we came to the rural industrial park. When our women are there who are already working, so they are working also for 2 hours or 3 hours. There are lots of boys and girls in the villages. Now they are interested in working something, so that there is a sort of environment in village to produce something in their quality time. For that, we have developed 300 rural industrial parks in so this is thank you, Bala. So this is rural industrial park. So 300 rural industrial park is being made as experiment in Chhattisgarh out of 600 crore rupees. So basically, rural industrial park is a place where people at their quality time comes to that place, do production, and there is organized system which may take up and distribute to the market, carts, bazaar, local people, all that. Next, please. Yes, I will share all this PPT too, don't worry. So in this, RIPA, we have 4 verticals. First is called Ajivika Gudi. Gudi means a place where people sits and talks. It's called Gudi in Chhattisgarh. So we say Ajivika Gudi. So Ajivika Gudi is basically for the Samajas. We have progressive communities who are traditional producers like Kumars, potters, a traditional community. Like the cobblers, traditional community. Like people who are working with oil, telis, people who are working with the bunkar cloths. So we have such kind of goodies like Loha Gudi, Kumar Gudi, Charm Silpkar Gudi, Mati Kala Silp Gudi, Vastra Gudi, Vaidya Gudi, people who are making medicines. Baas Gudi, those who are making, we have Chhattisgarh has a lot of bamboo population, and we have bamboo artisans like anything. And Badhai Gudi, and last is Gahna Gudi. Gahna means the tribals. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just finishing it up. So we have last is Gahna Gudi. Gahna Gudi is something where we produce, all these Gahna. So in the villages of Chhattisgarh, they have different kind of ornaments, but that is not being produced outside. So those who produces this kind of things should come. We provide them a space, and government is providing them 4-5 things free. Next, please. So in every Gudi, government provides them. Next, please. Next. That's it. Space, water facility free of charge, electricity, preferably green electricity, because now we are producing electricity also from cow dung. So electricity providing, otherwise if we provide the electricity, that would be half rate. Banking linkage, watershed, worksheds. So we are linking with all state level banking committees to the RIPAs. All RIPA has entrepreneurial ecosystem, storage. And then for marking facilities, now we have organized a different sector, because villager who produces this kind of things cannot sell it. The selling is a big problem. So we started a separate cell called C Mart, C for Chhattisgarh Mart. So C Mart is a kind of 3-story mall developed by government of Chhattisgarh. That is 54 in number now. Every district has one C Mart, big mall, that is being produced by that has all the production from the Gauthans and this rural industrial park. So C Mart, every district has, and every now block we are planning to have one C Mart. So this is a complete value chain system. So from Gauthan to RIPA to C Mart, and now these are the production systems. And next, please. These are the goodies, various goodies, and these are C Mart. You see, these are the C Mart, from where all kind of organic rice, pulses, and all kind of things are being produced and sold in main market like Raipur, Bilaspur, all towns. 54 such big and small towns in Chhattisgarh. You'll find one C Mart. So they need not to think about it. We tell them that you produce these things, and we'll purchase it on this rate. Sometimes we have a dense area, Abuj Mad, inside Bastar, which has lots of that broom grass. So broom grass has been collected, and brooms being made, and now every month 5 trucks of brooms is being sold to Delhi. So Delhi's house are being cleaned by the Gauthans and rural industrial parks of Bastar. So this is the value chain now developed. So almost around, this is the almost last slide. SHG, youth and trader is one side, individual farmer artisan communities. This is RIPA. Input is given by government, market linkage is given by government. Skill and capacity building, we have made all these RIPA as VTP. all the REPAs are registered as VTP, vocational training providers. So the villager who wanted to come and wanted to know some training of some trade he wanted to start. So REPA provides, facility to get it training through the VTP, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Unnayan, Mukhyamantri Kaushal Unnayan, etc., etc. So Ajivika Gudi is producing these things. FMCG Delhi utilities things are being produced here. MSME backward linkages are being produced here, and then service facilitation is also there. So we have now call for the TSA, Technical Support Agency, from the all over country, who can come and support REPA individually as REPA manager, appointing REPA manager and supporting that. We have some fund for it. Even developmental alternative, Bala, you're writing, is part of 2 TSA in 2 of the districts, Jashpur and Raigad in Chhattisgarh. Many other developed agencies, NGOs are participating into it. So now we have almost around 5,000 people working in 300 REPAs, directly or indirectly. So this is a story of an ecosystem, of a reviving rural ecosystem. This is conceived and being propagated by Honorable Chief Minister himself. Every 15 days, he do a sort of samiksha of this, and then whole bureaucracy is, because of his political will, the whole bureaucracy is working. Yeah, and every 15 days we do DBT, direct benefit transfer. DBT means direct money transfer to the cow dung collectors directly to their account. So the cow dung who's selling cow dung is getting his money in every 15 days without fail, whether he is here or he's traveling or anywhere else, that money is being transferred every 15 days. So this is all about the whole story. Next, please. So this is Naya Raipur, the last slide. This is we have made a system. Next, please. Next, please. You have this. So every REPA has panchayat level, and then block level we have rural economic zones. At district we have Gandhi Gram. These are the governing things. At the state level we have 100 acres of Nama Sevagram, because the old Sevagram is a Gandhi's museum of 47. Now we need more dynamic Sevagram of the same concept of artisan panchayat and all. So state level we have 100 acres of land is being given to Naya Sevagram with 100 crore rupees fund which we are developing. So REPA has selected people for rural economic zones. These people were selected in rural economic zones, formed Gandhi Gram in district where collector is advisor to them, and these people who are representing there formed a society in New Sevagram, and this is what is the kind of structure we have made. So thank you very much. This is all about the whole thing. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. That's really wonderful, Pradeep ji, taking us through the whole journey of this. We had a couple of questions which came from the participants, and most of the questions are answered. But I'm curious to understand what is the total investment, say annual investment which government made, and could you do it by convergence or special allocations were made from the government?
See, 90% of money in all this effort comes from convergence only.
Oh,
right from Manrega, right from SRLM, right from various other things. 10% money, which is also like 600 crore rupees given to the rural industrial park. Similarly, every Gauthan has almost 5 lakh rupees given to them for something like you can say borewell. Borewell is something which is not being covered in any government district. So borewell is one thing we need to dug, and then that solar powered system is not still covered. So these are the things which has been done.
So which essentially means any state can replicate it, because
yes,
it looks like so it looks like you basically it's a planning and implementation based on the local conditions and situations. So basically restoring the rural economy.
Yeah. So
rather than a top-down approach.
I just wanted to note that two other states which just came in Congress bag, Shimla, Himachal Pradesh and Karnataka, has already, given in their Ghoshna Patra manifesto to adopt this Godan Nyaya Yojana. Karnataka said that they will purchase in 3 rupees. And Shimla has also told the same thing, that they will have more than 300 rural industrial park in their area.
That sounds good. So in taking forward, see, in the rural areas, like you initially mentioned very, very rightly, every intervention had negative impacts as well from all the development programs. But on this, when you started with these Gotans and then started restoring these things, did you see anything happening over there, or similar kind of thing, unforeseen initiative, unforeseen problems, or in the rural economy, or any conflicts kind of thing, or it was all okay?
Sir, thing is that anything you start, if you're doing something good, there must be something, some errors and some sort of resistance or something.
Yes.
That's not right.
Yes.
But since this is something which is very near to the people's heart, and we started rightly from the village and its understanding of the village as a system, as a production system. So our most of the things are kind of in line with the issues of Chhattisgarh ke people, Chhattisgarh ki janata. So I'm saying कि जब कभी भी आप लोग अपने इलाके में इसको करने की सोचें, तो जो छोटा मोटा माइनर अमेंडमेंट है वो जरूर करें.
हाँ, वो तो है
ना. तो फिर ये प्रॉब्लम बिल्कुल नहीं आएंगी. जैसे हमारे यहाँ जंगल के गांव जो थे, तो there was lots of 5,000 forest villages, right? So 5,000 forest village में forest में you cannot have any permanent construction. So we have developed is a rotational grazing Gautans. So different Gautans. So because of that, I'm telling you, out of 10,000 Gautans, 5,536 Gautans are now self-independent. They need not to take money from government to run their operations.
Okay.
That is beauty of things, that 50% Gautans are autonomous now. They don't need money from government to run their things. They purchase their cow dung by themselves.
That's
so last time
interesting.
we government has given 1.4 crore rupees, and then Gautans by themselves have distributed 3.4 crore rupees. 3 times of government.
Okay. That's interesting. Sir, one of the problems I could see 5 to 10 years back, wherever in Raipur we are going.
Yes. Your voice is not audible, Ramu. Connection. Ramu, can you repeat, please?
I think the connectivity is gone for him.
Sorry?
I think Ramu has lost the connection, I suppose.
I think yes.
He got disconnected. Sorry. I was asking how much of the sway cattle problem could be tackled, and then because that was one of the serious problems Chhattisgarh were facing.
See, we have the number of bovine is very high. 1.3 crore is a big number. So I think that earlier 56% of them is kept inside the home. The rest of that is almost stray. So now the stray cattle is reducing every year. I mean, people now, because now the cow is not a kind of uneconomic, creature in Chhattisgarh, because every cow is providing you 10 kgs of gobar.
At least.
Gautan people used to keep that, keep this cow, 100 cows by themselves, by Gautan Samiti. And they earned 56,000, 60,000 rupees per month out of the gobar collected in Gautani itself. So that they appointed 2 shepherds to, put them into kind of grazing system of the village. So this way, the stray cattle system, is being reduced significantly because Gautan started taking care of it, and especially because the farmer gets lots of benefit out of it. So now they are insisting the Gram Gautan Samiti about it.
Right. So before going forward, one more thing. Now that government of India is also talking about natural farming and then climate change adaptation. So agriculture, and if these kind of infrastructure can be built in, I think it would be a great move forward. Uh, isn't it? I feel this is what probably everyone has to look at in their own states, which we need to look at. And I now open up the discussion for participants. Participants may please raise your hands if you want to ask any question directly to Pradeep. Let's restrict to the questions, not so much on the comments and suggestions. Any information on the increase in the cattle population? Do you see there is an increase in the cattle population? There was a question.
Yeah. So, Ramu, in 3 years, 5 lakh liters of milk has been produced more in Chhattisgarh. That's a 5 lakh liter is the increase of milk.
Okay.
Because dairy people gets rejuvenated like anything. Because the time of dry cows, it's very difficult to sustain dairy.
Correct.
Now we are purchasing their cow dung, and the dairy cattle, gives lots of cow dung. So that gives them, then dry cow even is an economic item to them.
That's nice.
So in 3 years, 5 lakh liter increase in milk production in Chhattisgarh.
Okay, that's interesting. Digvijay Chaudhary, can you ask your question? Yes, please.
Namaste. Pradeep ji, wonderful work. My question is, 1 घंटे में तो हमें highlights trailer मिल गया. If you want to do some kind of knowledge transfer, because in Maharashtra, in the rural area we are working, we were planning a rural economic zone. फिर पता चला already आप लोगों ने कर दिया है. तो instead of reinventing the wheel, and this is a NGO initiative, nothing to do with the government. तो किस तरह का knowledge transfer possibility है? So of course many conditions will change. We'll have to contextualize, but सीखने को बहुत मिल सकता है. तो
everybody is most welcome all the time. Everybody with their groups are most welcome all the time. In Chhattisgarh, please let us know. Right? So my address is very simple. Pradeep Sharma, Planning Commission, Naya Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Send me a letter, or you can share your email, seva.service@gmail.com. That's very simple. seva.service, service. Service.
What a lovely email. Thank you.
We'll share all the contact details, Pradeep ji, to all. Also, the summary of the discussion also will be shared with all of you. And some of the reports on the NGGB, which is available. Any more questions? I see here about the further scalability and replication. What kind of challenges you see, or do you see it can go on easily?
See, Ramu, I just wanted to, add one more point, that central government or government of India, or anywhere in this ruling central Indian government's parties, they were thinking of making, gaushalas.
Correct.
There's a difference between gaushala and Gautan. Always remember that.
Exactly. That's a point we wanted to drive in.
So in an area like Rajasthan or Kutch, because the very harsh condition, this Panjara pole in Gaushala may be possible. But Gaushala is a different thing and Gautan is different thing.
Exactly.
We want this, cows to be injected inside the village community only. Once you make a kind of very exclusive Gaushala, when the dry cows are being sent as a kind of asylum, then there's a connect between people and an animal is lost, number one. Yes. Number two, it is very difficult to manage such a huge population of cattle in any of Gaushalas.
Correct.
So there was lots of corruption earlier in Chhattisgarh about Gaushala. Almost 18,000 cows has been died or killed by Gaushala owners. in
I
previous.
can see this. I can see this. Actually, Gautans are people-centric, not cow-centric, basically. Though they are both they're dealing with cows, but it's actually the people-centric and livelihood-centric. That makes huge difference, I think, the perspective. There's a question from Prayog Sitara, IIT Bombay.
Please.
Yes, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you ask
you-
your question?
No,
Yeah, please.
Unmute yourself.
Hello. Yeah, namaste, sir. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm Sushma Kulkarni from Sitara, IIT Bombay. We have actually met you just 1.5 years back with Professor Bakul Rao.
Yeah, I
I
know.
actually visited your house. So actually, we are in the process of coordinating with Collector of Jashpur District, Dr. Ravi Mittal. And we are working on the sustainable model for the ripas. We visited Balachapur and one more, Pandrapat Ripa in the month of January. We met SHGs there. We could see all the compost making things and other activities which are going on in the ripas. So we saw some machineries also, but somewhere we found that the machineries are right now they are not working, or the SHGs are not being given a proper training for working on those particular machines, particularly chip making machine. Because potatoes, they were frying the potatoes and putting for the packing machine was there, and they were packing the things, but I think it was not properly working. So we were asked to develop some financially sustainable model and some proper skills and trainings which can be given to SHGs. So we have identified the relevant faculty from IIT Bombay, and they are right now working on it. They visited the district also, and we are right now faculties are working on this bamboo artisans and training and capacity building also. And there is one more suggestion from one relevant faculty from chemical department, that this bamboo which is available, which is high potential in Jashpur, so why not this bamboo can be utilized for making bamboo composites? If we extract the sugar from it, there can be a very high potential for bamboo composite factory, which can be set up in the district. So some suggestions are there, and we are right now working on it. So let us see how we can move ahead and give some solution for the community.
Yeah, I remember you coming my home, and thank you for joining me.
So thanks.
And we're working with Bamboo Studio of IIT Bombay. We have MOU with many institutions all over the country, like IIT Bombay. Professor Atrey is coordinating with us. And we wanted some more machines to come. BARC is partner, Baba Atomic Research Center. They have their Kriti Technologies, the Rural Development Department they have. So they have MOU with the government of Chhattisgarh RIPA cell. And now tomorrow, next week I'm visiting CFTRI Mysore. They have also been called for the food processing other machines and all. So the RIPA cell in Chhattisgarh, government is working and coordinating with various institutes from inside India, outside India, and local people. So it's just to provide just a technology transfer, properly technology transfer to be given by that good quality of products being developed. And moreover, see, it's an experiment which just started, right? We have to go a long way, and teething problems has to come. So there's a dedicated willpower of political leadership. Our Honorable Chief Minister himself is very interested in whenever we need anything, he said, just go and just get it. So this way we are working on it.
And we have been working on the other number of projects. Even one of the interesting projects is tracking of malnutrition in the district.
I understand.
Yeah, and another one for farmers, like capacity building and training for the beekeepers. So that also we just now got the project and we have started working on it. So,
but I'm interested in Bamboo's new thing. Whenever you come to Raipur, please let me know. We'll meet again.
And even
from Xiaomi M210K has some raised on his hand. Some question.
I think Pradeep sir also met Dr. Rupal Dalal ma'am when sir visited Jaspur.
Yeah,
I met him. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Pradeep, one more is you mentioned there is an increase in 300% millet production and the MSP provided. So is it MSP higher than the central government MSP, or Is it the same MSP you are providing?
For the coarse grain millet, government of India has declared MSP only for 3 things.
3 things, yes.
Ragi,
but rest of the things were not there. So you are providing for rest of the things. Okay. And the second is rice, you are providing a very high MSP in Chhattisgarh. And did it increase the area under rice or?
See, that's a very lovely question, Ramu, I wanted to answer. Rice area increased in first 2 years, but 5 lakh more farmers being increased in Chhattisgarh.
Oh.
These are 2 different numbers, no?
Correct. Yeah.
So the 5 lakh farmer who increased in Chhattisgarh were the farmers of coarse grain millets, which were not under net.
Okay.
Okay. They were tribal people living in the villages, right? And there is, see, every area is increasing because we are supporting sugarcane also. We are supporting not only rice, but we are supporting many other things like coarse grain millets and pulses and many other things. So we want see, crop cycle change is a long-term tedious process.
Correct.
And farmer who totally depend on only one thing, that is harvesting its crop. You cannot just tell him that please change your things. You start giving, wheat, the same kind of MSP which suits him. He will change from rice to wheat. Right? Like Punjab, what happened?
Right.
Now Punjab has become the biggest supplier of wheat now. In the country, Punjab is the biggest producer of wheat as well as rice also.
Right.
Because government is procuring both of them, rice as well as wheat. But in our area, central government is not procuring wheat. Right. So these are the discrepancies where these are very policy issues. Swamiji, you wanted to say something? Hi, Swamiji, how are you?
Yes, Pradeep, namaskar. So it's good to see after 10 years actually. It was a wonderful time working with you during my tenure at Bastar. And good to see Ramu sir. Actually, currently, Pradeep, I am working as a regional coordinator for Eastern India in nature positive farming. Recently, we had our partners meet and where Ramu sir was one of the co-speakers. So we learned a lot from him. Pradeep, I just wanted to know, how do you see net increase in cultivable area and what is its impact in production scenario in Chhattisgarh due to this Gothan?
See, Gothan is a supplementary activity to the farming. So farmer is not full-time farmer in Chhattisgarh and in any central Indian state.
Anyway. Yeah.
So this is the quality time which I started with. The quality time which is left with them, the farmer. He can come and do some work over here in Gothan. Gothan is a central 5-acre place in every village, which is, you can say, is a production zone where they can come, do something, they can dance. Even there is 1 acre left for the community activities like playing, singing, dancing, whatever villager want to do. Right? So this is supporting the kind of, that creates an environment, a proud environment that we can produce. Our production goes to Delhi. Our production, at least we can produce our own toothpaste. That is a big thing. We can produce our own belt. There's no rocket technology in that.
I could see actually in one of the places I saw ballpoint pens were made.
Yeah.
The women sitting over there were making those ballpoint pens, which we see as a big technology, but simply they were making sitting over there. I think that was a really wonderful thing. Pradeep, one more question was, what was the incentive you gave for collecting the stubbles and straw from the farmers? Did you give any incentive or?
See, we say simply one thing. This is your cow.
Okay.
And your fodder.
Okay.
We are not going to have anything. We are not producing ethanol out of your fodder. Right?
No, instead of burning stubble, instead of selling it down.
Instead of just burning it, just give it to us. Then we'll feed your cows only.
Okay.
So they said, yeah, we say in our villages, cows are being called Lakshmi. हमारी तुम्हारी लक्ष्मी को खिलाने के लिए ले जा रहे हैं, भाई दे दो हमको. They give it.
Pradeep bhai, but in case of that, in addition to Ramu sir, actually, I just wanted to know that people find it difficult to incorporate in the field. That's why they prefer to burn. So, what is happening? What is the how do you motivate them? Actually, once अगर उनको बाहर गांव के बाहर निकालना है तो अप्रूव करना ही पड़ेगा, क्योंकि उनके लिए प्रोबेबली एक डिफिकल्ट टास्क है. So, what is the motivation factor there?
सौम्य फिर से बताओ क्या बोल रहे हो?
Sir, Ramu sir, please.
Yeah, in Punjab and Haryana, this is becoming a major problem because the removing stubbles is becoming expensive process, so they burn it. So straw is what you mentioned is right, but what happens to the stubbles? Are the farmers leaving it in the field and continuing, or what do they do?
Stubbles is see, once somebody knows about composting, you know,
the value of it.
The value of it, and then lignin material gets composted. The stubble, once you plow it, you know,
correct.
There is no dearth of water in Chhattisgarh in monsoon time.
So
we just plow it, leave it, and fill with the water for 4 days. Everything gets
composted. Okay.
So stubble is
stubbles are not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, that's a cultural situational difference.
Because in Punjab, the mud is not being generated in the village, in the field. Right? If you put a lot of water, even then, because of the alluvial soil, the mud is not being generated. Whereas my place is artisol, equisol, kind of soil, which is basically clay soil. The mud which has been generated, you know, you plow out your tractor while you fill up the water, then it gets completely composted.
And now under this Godan Yojana and all, government is talking about bio-CNG and then making it mandatory to merge it with, blend it with the regular CNG and all. Are you also trying on that line?
Biogas last 3 years we are trying. Give us permission for making ethanol from paddy directly, not from rice. From paddy directly. And if you give us, ethanol, our ethanol consumption, our diesel consumption, petrol consumption will sharply reduce, and our farmer will get a lot of money out of it. Now, every time, because FCI has already given us in return that we don't have storage capacity for the further procurement. We already have procured rice required for 3 more years in the country. So we have no problem if you convert it from the paddy, but they don't understand that these policymakers don't understand that rice, ethanol produced by paddy is far more cheaper and better in quality than the rice. So they always said, oh, broken rice you can make, but the other rice you cannot make. We said we don't want to mill it at all. Why do we mill it? Why do we transport it? We'll simply make 2G fermentation and 2G distillation. And then we'll have a first class ethanol. And if you purchase, is all right. If you don't purchase, we'll sell it by our local petrol pump.
Okay.
You yourself is going for.
But Pradeep ji, since paddy consumes a lot of water, and there is not every area is rain fed, and then you're actually pumping out groundwater as well. Will it not increase the burden on the groundwater?
Yes, you're completely right. But Ramu, you see, we started with rejuvenating our nalas.
Okay. So you see it as a large part of the ecosystem itself, not as a isolated case.
Groundwater upliftment is, in average in Chhattisgarh, is 28 centimeter. Average groundwater recharge is 28 centimeter
per year.
Which is higher than anywhere in the country now. 8 centimeter is thought to be a very good recharge.
That's great.
28 centimeters.
So that's all comes from Narwa kind of thing.
Yes.
That's interesting. And in the context of what are all the activities from NRGA you use for construction and all? We
have 2 CPTs outside the Gautan. We don't make fencings. we make
Right.
CPTs, right? CPT is being made. CPT, we started with CPT. CPT is being made by NRAGA, MG. Then we make roads inside, which is also made by MG NRGA. Then we make raised platform for sitting cows, and then temporary shelter by bamboos and other things, which is made by MG NRGA. So we want this vermicompost pit, which is also being made by MG NRGA. Which we requires some fodder and water channel, which is also possible made by MG NRGA. So there is only one thing, that is borewell and that pump.
Are extra given from projects. Okay.
Is not coming from MG NRGA. Otherwise,
okay.
And we were asking central government that you are giving 50%, more than 50 to 60% subsidies in the chemical fertilizer. So provide us subsidy in the organic fertilizer. By that we would reduce our price of fertilizer from 10 rupees to 6 rupees or 4 rupees.
And now there is a new scheme government of India is talking about as PM Pranam. If the fertilizer use is reduced, that money will be given to the state. And I hope Chhattisgarh will be the state which gets
we are
more.
already 13% of bulk, in 13% of bulk of chemical fertilizer in first paddy season is being reduced in Chhattisgarh because of this organic fertilizer.
Wow, that sounds great. And coming to the last question, I would say it was really wonderful, and then we had a lot of insights into the whole thing. But just curious, lastly, when people talk about climate change, people talking about green development, and what you initiated is both in terms of ecology and in terms of economy revival. Is a great initiative. So, is there any data available, and then any effort being made to quantify this, how much changes happened in terms of environment benefits at the grassroots level, and also quantify them and then label them so that your products are also labeled as green and then get into the market? Is there any effort being made?
Lots of work being made. Branding department is taking care of it.
Okay.
But the metadata comes from the water recharge for the jungle rejuvenation of 24 lakh hectares, and the 28 lakh quintals of vermicompost is applied to the field. It means you can say that
so much organic carbon increase.
2 lakh
so much carbon
direct carbon has been consequestered in the soil.
Correct. So all that is huge. I think in terms of numbers, and it's very, very impressive. And also, I think more than numbers, I feel a kind of respect for the people. I think that's a big difference. Respect to the common people in the rural areas, that they can revive provided if you give them support. I think is the biggest lesson, I would say. And then from there, the whole story, I think, is a great thing. Really a great thing to see the whole change happening around. And on behalf of CSA and Krishna Sudha Academy, I really thank you, Pradeep ji. And from our side, we want to work with you and then probably bring our strength in terms of promoting organic natural farming. So we'll also be partnering with you. And then
thank you, everybody. And please drop in sometime to Chhattisgarh and see all these things. We are half in way. And I will be very happy. Now all the repas and 1,000 Gautans are about to be connected with Wi-Fi. 300 repas has already been Wi-Fi now. 150 out of 350 has been already connected with Wi-Fi. So we are creating now more space for the knowledge dissemination center, and we are planning to have a virtual rural university.
Wow, that's interesting.
Virtual rural university.
So we'll be the first one to partner with you in terms of taking this forward, because that's the whole idea of academy which we are setting up also. Vinyasa, you had some question?
Actually, not the question. Before Pradeep ji leaves, I would actually request everyone to turn on their camera so that we can take a screenshot.
And while Vinyasa is taking the screenshot, I'll also invite Santosh to propose vote of thanks. And
is there.
Yes.
Samarth?
And Samarth is there. And before that, also, I thank all the participants. And next time, next week, we'll come back with another interesting session from another interesting model from the country. And we'll have good discussions around these things. Santosh, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Imagine for a moment a country where there is a rural economy is flourishing. No one is talking about the challenges, migration challenges, and rural people are happy. How that India be? And today I could imagine that India, the flourishing rural economy, and being from a small village, that remote village of Karnataka, that is Aralikere, Chitradurga district of Karnataka, I could visualize if I go to my village today, I could see only elder population, and where are the working population? They're all searching for a perfect job in a Bangalore or a nearby city. And I could visualize if we replicate this model throughout the country to other states, and in our own state, that is Karnataka, I could see the change. I could visualize the change, how that rural economy be, that flourishing economy be. And today we got to visualize, we got to see, we got to learn from Pradeep ji the step-by-step formula from scratch to the a better economy, a thriving, a flourishing rural economy. Thank you so much, Pradeep ji, for presenting a step-by-step formula, step-by-step guide, and replicable model to other states, and with the whole collective idea, with the whole collective vision of improving the rural economy of India. Thank you so much. And in addition to that, any session is incomplete with a wonderful host, with a person who have the vision to bring everyone onto a platform and getting the best out of their story, communicating with the everyone. And he's none other than Dr. Ramu. Thank you so much, Ramu, for bringing such an amazing person, that is Pradeep ji, onto the stage, and providing the whole environment to interact and learn from him. Thank you so much. Furthermore, any session is incomplete with someone who provides energy to the whole session. And the one who provides the energy is none other than our wonderful audience. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating and interacting, throwing your questions. And it's a two-way process. We got to learn a lot of the new things from your questions and your engagement. Thank you so much for being here. In the same way, we will be keeping bringing so many sessions, wonderful stories, where we can improve our rural economy, where we can um, make sure our agroecology, rural economy is flourishing and improving day by day. We can alleviate the challenges facing by the rural economy. In the future sessions, we will be bringing a lot of these kind of sessions. Stay tuned, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity uh, to share the vote of thanks for the great speaker, that is Pradeep ji. Thank you so much. Over to you,
Thank
Vinyasa.
you. Thank you, Pradeep ji. Thank you very much. And next week, we will all meet for another session, another interesting story from other part of the country. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Have a nice weekend.